重视的一切。蜘蛛侠，别流行，给点着他！稳住！And we're done.
What's going on? Welcome to the top 8 video games I've ever made. That have been ever made. Anyway, just want to get a couple things out of the way real quick. One is that I'm going to be featuring one game per series. So, for example, I'm going to have Batman Arkham City later on the list. I'm not going to have multiple Arkham games, even though they might be better than lower numbers on the list. So no two games from the same franchise. And I haven't played every game in existence, so there might be ones that I haven't played that are really good. Let's get into this. Number 8 is Destroy All Humans Remake. This came out this year. Really freaking good game. Okay, you might be like, Destroy All Humans, this game is fantastic. Okay, it's really like super fluid. There's the lightning gun, which is just a ton of fun to use on people. There's great boss fights, tons of missions, tons of objectives, just tons of ways to play. You got the glide ability, a couple of cool guns. It's just a really like fun game. The story's pretty good too. It's not like outstanding or anything. If there's any one flaw, it's a little easy, but like when you're an alien just running around killing people, who cares, right? Number 7. Oh wait, another clip. Okay, I'm gonna talk about it a little longer. The saucer. Here's some saucer footage. It's awesome. Freaking quantum deconstructor. You can just blow up buildings. Yeah, sorry, that is not going to happen twice. I expected the next game to come up just there. I pre-edited all of this. But anyway, yeah, just death ray this building. Okay, number 7. God of War. God of War 4. Freaking fantastic game. Not the best of the generation. I think there are better games that came out in the PS4 era. But this is like a complete reinvention. I played God of War 3 before this, like a little bit. But 4, it takes the cake. You got like really fluid mechanics, just like Destroy All Humans. All the top 8 probably are going to be like that. But the rage mechanics, the spoiler alert, Blades of Chaos, that whole part of the game, the boss fights in this game are great. The Leviathan Axe, there's just tons of moves to use. This game's just got freaking one of the most incredible combat systems I've ever seen. And of course the story's fantastic too. You got Mimir, the boy, Brock. Brock and Sindri don't get enough love. They're great characters. If there's anything wrong with this game, I'd say it's just that the final boss with what's his face, Baldur, isn't like as good as the first one, and it's kind of a letdown. Valkyries are great though. Number 6. I apologize, I don't have footage for this one because it's on the DS, but Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. These freaking games were my childhood, okay? You have 2 whole regions to explore, Kanto and Johto. You have freaking Red to fight, which is the screenshot I've taken. Tons of team variety. You've got the gym leader rematches, the Safari Zone, the Battle Frontier. This game's just got it all. And to top it all off, it's a really freaking hard game. And there's just so many boss fights in this game. This game's got an absurd number. Like, if you count all the gym leaders and the Elite Four in Red, that's like 21, and you can rematch all of them. So that's 42 boss fights I could think of off the top of my head, and they're all like pretty challenging. This game's just really great at that, and I think the best Pokemon game in my opinion. Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Plus you got Pokewalker. Who doesn't love that, right? All right, number 5. This is another recently released one, 2020 Doom Eternal. And yeah, I mean, this is just, how would I describe this? This is like Call of Duty Zombies, but if it were a single-player game instead of a horde survival. And, you know, I love Call of Duty Zombies, but single-player is always going to be the best. So, freaking Doom Eternal, you got super fast-paced mechanics, a ton of freaking depth and variety. You got weak points you can shoot off the flamethrower, tons of weapon mods, you can swap between them. This game's got some really, really good boss fights. The Gladiator, the Con Maker, the freaking Icon of Sin. Boss fights are great. And they're in more supply. The Marauder. Not everyone loves fighting Marauder, but God, I do. Marauder is so much freaking fun to go against. It's just like fighting someone your level, like dueling against them. It's just really cool. And not to mention, you got the Chainsaw, the BFG, and the Crucible, which is a brand new feature. Okay, on to number 4 though. This isn't going to be a huge surprise, since I've made so many videos about it. SpiderMan PS4. Freaking incredible game. I swear, this has got like the best open world I've ever seen in a game. In terms of just wanting to play it like all the time. Like I cannot physically go 2 weeks without playing this game's open world. That's how freaking extraordinary it is. All this footage is just open world. And then the story is just fantastic as well. You got the boss fights with Ox, Scorpion, all the Sinister Six, and just the huge variety in finishers and moves. It's a little bit I'm not even gonna lie, I rag on this game a lot. It's a little bit repetitive at times if you play it enough. Like, I don't know, I put Arkham higher than this, as you probably already know, because it's just, it never gets old. This never gets old for a while, but, you know, it's not infinitely replayable. Number 3 is going to be The Last of Us. And, quick disclaimer, Last of Us 2, it is objectively a better game, much better gameplay, graphics, soundtrack. That's debatable, soundtrack. And the story is decent, I'd say. I'm one of the few people that actually kind of like Abby. But, like, how would I describe this? Subjectively, objectively, The Last of Us 2 is better, but subjectively, I think this game just, it's got a better vibe to it. It's more positive. And I don't know, it's just, sometimes, you know, I prefer a more easygoing vibe in my games that isn't so serious. And Last of Us 2 is maybe more serious than it needs to be. Which, I mean, I'm glad it exists, but yeah, anyway, I haven't spent enough time talking about this game. I don't need to. Fantastic story, great gameplay, and just really heartfelt adventure. Definitely play it if you haven't already. Number 2 is going to be Batman Arkham City, which I cannot record PS3. I'm sorry, I can only record on my PS4. But this is Arkham Knight footage standing in for City. City is freaking the best because you got incredible boss fights. Ra's al Ghul, Mr. Freeze, Solomon Grundy, and freaking Clayface. All great boss fights, great story, great ending with the Joker. Constant action, the story is just constant fast-paced, going from room to room, fighting people using combat and Predator, gliding, detective modes. This game's just got the like masterful variety down. Like, some games can only rely on, like, one type of gameplay. This game has got just so many, like I said. Traversal, combat, stealth combat, detective, Batmobile if we're talking about night, but the free flow maps, they're just such a great game. This is, I swear, second best of all time. But here comes number 1. This is going to be Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. And yeah, this is a heavily story-driven one, kind of like Last of Us, but the reason this one's so high is just because it is A, an incredible story, and B, the gameplay is just super freaking silky smooth and so engaging. Like, it's just so much fun. There's no time you will ever play this game and not have fun. That's why I rag on SpiderMan. Sometimes SpiderMan's, it can get boring if you're just spamming gadgets. That doesn't ever have that problem. This game is just freaking beautiful. The hidden in plain sight, that's like the best chase in gaming history. Freaking story is great, and I mean, sure, there's little narrative dissonance, but like, it's a game, who cares? Who cares, honestly, right? But yeah, that's just about it. I mean, I love this game. Wraith boss fight at the end is fantastic. All the set pieces are great. It's just got a whole cinematic build up to all the cool events that happen. Overall, my favorite game of all time. But that's about it. Leave in the comments if I didn't mention one. I'm going to honorable mentions right now real quick. Red Dead Redemption 2, The Witcher 3, Zelda Breath of the Wild. Let's see what else. I think that covers the main ones. Yeah, but I hope you enjoyed. Leave your comments in below if you have a different one. And I will see you next time.